Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today, and this week sees the release of the HBO dramatic fantasy series Season 1 of His Dark Materials, hitting store shelves along with Jack Ryan Season 2 and a foreign sci-fi mystery action flick called Coma, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we're at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got.
Alright everybody, we are in at this Walmart, and this is going to be a very short trip, guys, because they have literally no new physical media out this week. Nothing. None of the TV stuff, no indie films, you name it, guys. There's nothing new here at all. Yeah, and as you can see right over there, it looks like they're very bare down around there. Seem like they haven't really filled it the entire week. So yeah, pretty much empty over here, guys. The only thing I am seeing is they do have that Deep Blue Sea 3 DVD. They did have the Blu-rays, but those all sold out, man. But I did look this up, and yeah, the release date isn't yet, so this came out early. I don't know whether that means that this was technically a Walmart exclusive, or Walmart just put it out early and ignored the release date. I'm not quite sure about that, guys, but I have to give this a watch. Some people who already have said it's already better than Deep Blue Sea 2, which, please God, let that be true, man, because the second one was really garbage, dude. But I like the cover, so I definitely will have to check this one out, man. But outside of that, I have to admit, there was nothing else to show off here, guys. All of the TV stuff I thought we'd get isn't here. The old stuff is here. Yeah, unfortunately not, guys. Like I said, short trip this time around. Kind of figured this week. Let's head out. Well, this was an absolute swift kick in the balls, wasn't it? Okay, look, not exactly. I mean, this is a very small release week, man. There's not a lot of stuff really coming out. Now, yes, there's a couple of big name sort of TV seasons that are coming out this week, so I thought maybe Walmart would have that here, but no such luck, guys. Now, it's a real shame because the past couple weeks here at this Walmart have been really fantastic. So I thought, okay, man, we're gonna finally get some really great media here week in and week out, or at least as much as they possibly could have. Well, 2 weeks on, 1 week off. Let's hope next week is much better. But yeah, it's just a low release week and not much to show off, unfortunately. I'm hoping this isn't the trend at all the other stores. Let's hope, guys. Well, short trip here. Kind of figured we weren't going to have anything, but, well, it's worth the gamble, I guess. I'd say, hope you enjoyed it, but there wasn't anything to show. Whatever. It happens. All right. Let's head to the next location. Hopefully, we'll see a hell of a lot more than we saw here.
All right, everybody. We are at our second location on this really rainy and yucky physical media release week. Of course. We're at Target. And before we go in, I wanted to talk about something. Now, I keep on always sort of talking about this, but I think it continues to be said over and over again, and that is about digital streaming. Now, I love digital streaming, continue to really support it at times, but see, it's very interesting because what I've noticed over the past month or so, that there's been a lot of great articles being written by people who, frankly, were at one point completely fans of digital, completely fans of this, would never think of buying any physical media whatsoever. They just were not a fan of it. And now I'm starting to see a turnaround, and I'm starting to see a turnaround because of cancel culture. I'm starting to see that because of this. Now, there was a really great piece written here from the Washington Examiner, and I sort of have
a couple things that I wanted to sort of dive in with you guys about. Some really interesting things that I think actually you guys would be really interested to find out. So this guy writes this, okay? Of all the cultural shifts of the past 2 decades, few affect our everyday lives as profoundly as our increased engagement with digital distribution of content. Streaming services have dramatically changed the film and television industries. Download options have all but remade the music and publishing industries. We can access our entire library of songs, shows, books, and movies using a device that's about the size of a deck of cards, which would have seemed like something out of a science fiction novel as recently as the early 2000s. That convenience can't be understated. It might even remember the bad old days, checking and double checking in vain like an idiot for a book on a series of shelves, having to engage in an inane conversation with an uninterested clerk about your fruitless pursuit, placing an order for the book, then having to follow up repeatedly by phone or in person until the book finally arrives sometime weeks later. Weeks! Remember those good old days? Or bad days, depending on who you talk to. All of which can now bypass with the elegant simplicity of one-click buy. That convenience has a price, though, even if it isn't in dollars. Ownership of digital media can be complicated. In reality, you're normally only purchasing a limited license to access your content. A glance at the terms of service of your favorite digital content providers, such as Amazon, will reveal that what you actually receive when you purchase content to own is something like a non-exclusive, non-transferable, non-sublicensable, limited license during the applicable viewing period, with the viewing period helpfully defined as the time period during which you are authorized to view different types of digital content. Whew. Try saying that 10 times fast. The long and short of that is whether you're buying or renting, say, a movie, the provider can revoke your authorization to view the content, and there isn't much you can do about it. Although some customers are fighting back in court to try to expand consumers' digital rights, for now, providers have all the power when it comes to controlling your content. That means essentially that you can buy it, but you can't own it. The most common loss of content circumstance is an expiring rights deal such as Netflix that leaves the service on a certain date. Up until recently, the limitations of our streaming paradise consisted mostly of intellectual properties disputes or bandwidth constraints, but the potential for more nefarious control over content has been apparent for years. In 2009, Amazon accessed users' Kindle devices and deleted already purchased books. The titles included works by Ayn Rand and J.K. Rowling, and in an alarming bit of irony, George Orwell's 1984 and Animal Farm. Confusion around self-published bootleg copies of the books prompted those deletions, but the incident illustrated just how easy it is for providers to remove content that consumers believe they own. And it goes on to talk about a lot of other stuff with cancel culture and certain episodes of shows that are going off of these platforms because they're not deemed socially relevant now or harmful to people, whatever. And this goes down to the biggest thing I've always said to you guys, is the fact that I'm sick and tired of people telling me that when you purchase a movie digitally, you own it. You don't own it. You are subject to whatever licensing agreements or whatever that provider deems worthy for that particular film. And that might change within a week, a year, 6 months. It doesn't matter, man. They can do whatever the hell they want, and you can't do a damn thing about it. But if you own the physical copy, that's what is going to preserve the film, not only for you, but for maybe your loved ones, for future generations, you name it. Guys, look, man. There is so many people attacking our freedoms nowadays. So many people. And I understand that the times are different. I understand those things. But you can't just get rid of history for the sake of getting rid of history. That's just not right. And a lot of these digital platforms they're not protecting the rights of these artists. They're not protecting the rights of people who love this material. And at a certain point, you have to ask yourself, when is enough enough? For me, guys, I learned that lesson a long, long time ago, dude. A long, long time back. I learned those lessons. And everybody comes to it at a different point. I'm hoping that eventually people will wake up and understand that this digital revolution, however awesome it is, and it is great at times, it is really great. There's a lot of really wonderful innovations. You gotta look at the negatives just as much as you look at the positives, man. And I think with physical media, I'm hoping that people really start to see that. And I think with this COVID-19 and everything, I think it's really opened up the gap even more about censoring stuff. And we're going down a really tricky slope, guys. And if we're not careful, we're going to lose a lot of stuff for good. And that's why physical media is so important, man. I'm glad certain people are finally waking up to this, but it needs to be a hell of a lot more, man. Honestly, it's just my honest opinion. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that. In the meantime, well, this is a slow release week, baby. It's slow, man. That first Walmart isn't really all that impressive a lot of times, but it has been good because we've had a lot to show off, and Target is usually really bad when there's a bad release week, man. I don't know what we're going to find there. It could be a shit show. Okay, it could be. I'm really hoping not, man. Really hoping. Well, let's take a gamble and find out. Let's head inside and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Target, and oh, brother, yeah, this is a minefield of nothing, guys. The same stuff here, nothing new whatsoever. I was expecting maybe some of the TV seasons, possibly, but I'm seeing nothing, man. I mean, some of the same old stuff here. Actually, they've even moved the postcard killings up to the front just to actually not make it so empty. And even bringing in double feature of When Calls the Heart. You know they are definitely desperate for sure, man. I don't see anything we're talking about over in the front. Let's hope there's something to see in the back. But thank goodness for TV seasons, guys. Yes, I am seeing a few TV seasons worth checking out. If it wasn't for them, this would definitely be a bust here at Target too, man. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray digital of His Dark Materials for $22.99. The DVD for $17.99. And what's really interesting here, I think is actually cool, is there's different artwork between the Blu-ray and the DVD, which is really great. Some companies do this, but it's very rare. You don't see it as often as you used to, but it's actually not bad. I actually prefer the DVD artwork here a little bit better than the Blu-ray one. The Blu-ray is just the polar bear with the armor. This has the characters here with this beautiful sort of background with sort of the science fiction fantasy elements. It actually is really cool. I gotta tell you, whenever I've seen sort of like different artwork for releases, I have to admit that sometimes the DVD ends up having better artwork. For some weird reason, it always does, man. For all you DVD lovers out there, this is the better artwork for sure. I mean, this is not bad, but that is clearly the better one by far, man. Not bad at all, dude. Really good. So I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, guys. Now, I actually watched it through HBO. Yes, I finally pulled the plug, actually, and got an HBO subscription through Amazon Prime. I figured, you know what, why the hell not, dude? I was looking through all the material that's on HBO, and I'm thinking, my God, man, I really have to get up on this because there's so much good stuff that I'm missing out on. And I used to have HBO years and years and years back, man, and I figured I already have an Amazon Prime account. Why not just get it through there? I don't have to get an extra app. So I just decided to take the plunge, man, and I'm glad I did. So I did get a chance to watch this. Now, this is based off of a fantasy epic book series. Now, truth be told, I've never heard of that book series. I've heard of a lot of different sort of fantasy book stuff like Harry Potter and stuff like that, but not this one. So I went into this series actually really fresh, not knowing not much about it. So I was like, I was very curious as to what I was in for here. Basically, the show is about Lyra, this 12-year-old girl, and for her protection, she ends up staying at this college. And what ends up happening is she tries to sort of get out of her sort of bookish world and sort of expand her horizons. And while doing that, she uncovers this conspiracy of stealing children, this religious sort of sect of people who are trying to stop this discovery of something called dust and possibly a whole nother world that could be uncovered because of that, and making friends and enemies along the way. It's truth be told, guys, it's honestly a really complicated show, man. It really honestly is very, very complicated, dude. Now, it was hard for me to follow this show. It was really tough for me to do it, guys. I'm not saying it's a downright terrible show. It's really great. I mean, it's 8 episodes, an hour each, so there's a lot of material to dive into here. The problem is, at least for me, and maybe I needed to have read the books at first. Maybe I needed to have, because that's one of the things that's really confusing me right now, guys, is that I may have needed to have actually read the material first, because there is so much stuff to dive into here. There is different creatures, there's our world, and then their world, and then another world that they're trying to discover. There's different languages, there's different creatures called daemons that are sort of their spirit animals that they have to carry with them, and it's part of their life and their survival. There's like this religious cult, and then there's other people that are also uncovering different things that are within the religious cult, but they're not exactly a part of it. Jesus, man, there's a prophecy, and dude, there's a lot of stuff here that, to be fair, just went over my head, dude. It really honestly did, man. And no offense, it was hard to dive into this show. I think something like Harry Potter is a little bit more digestible to me. There's a little bit more easier to digest the material. With this, it's very dense at times, man. They did the best job they could, and I still think the actual show is actually, for the most part, actually is really decent. There's a lot to actually like about the show. I think the acting is really well done. I think there's a lot of really great actors in this piece. I think the set designs are amazing. I think the CGI and the locations are brilliant. I think the world building is fantastic. I think there's a lot of things to really like about this show, man. But god damn, it is like the 8 hours, at least to me, kind of melted my brain. Like, I literally was trying to figure out who's who, what's what is the relation to one another, what is this world, what does the religious cult believe? What do they not believe? What are they searching for? What are they not searching for? Why is dust that you can find on my shelf suddenly so important? Like, I just don't get it, man. I don't get it, dude. But it was a fascinating watch. It was thrilling. It was dramatic. It was adventurous. There was a lot to love here and a lot to dive into. I did enjoy the show. I think the problem that I have is that it was just goddamn confusing, man. And I really was trying my hardest to keep up with this. And I pretty much was able to understand most of it. But there is certain stuff from this show that still baffle me to this day, man. So I'm curious to dive into more of this, but I've got to wrap my head around a lot of things. And hopefully in future installments, they're going to explain a little bit more, because it was tough, man. It was a dense watch, but it was interesting and fascinating at the same time. Maybe this is one of those shows that you definitely have to read the book, but I will admit this, though. It is fascinating to watch, and if you're into some fantasy elements, this one is really worth your time. But again, going with it with checked expectations, because it's not as easily accessible as something like Harry Potter. But I think you guys will still have fun with it, though. And then over here, guys, I'm seeing they have the DVD of Tom Clancy's Jack Ryan Season 2 for $22.99. That Tom Clancy goodness right there. Looking all badass, baby. So, I told you guys when the first season of Jack Ryan came out that I watched it on Amazon Prime and actually really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really fantastic season of television. I thought that John Krasinski was really good in the role of Jack Ryan. I thought that it really reminded me a lot of a Tom Clancy novel. I thought it really worked quite well, man. And so I was looking forward to what they would do with season 2. And I got to watch it on Amazon Prime, all of the season, and at some points it's better than season 1. At other points it kind of lacks to a certain degree. I mean, basically it picks up where the last season left off, and this season is sort of all about Jack Ryan and his crew going to Venezuela to take down a corrupt and evil Venezuelan president. And it's basically what the show is about, what that season is going for. And I think there's a lot to really like about season 2, man. I think the action is really great, especially there's like one major sequence at this compound that is really fantastic. I think they did a really great job with that, man. I think John Krasinski is continuing to settle into the role of Jack Ryan. I like the plot. I like the globe-trotting type of stuff. I mean, there's a lot to really like here, especially when it comes to Tom Clancy and everything. I think it works pretty much really well, man, to be honest with you. I think there's also some problems here, too, and I think the main problem relies with the fact that a lot of the great characters that were in season 1, a lot of them get sidelined in season 2, and some of them don't show up at all, man. Some of the character development is a little weak. I mean, Jack Ryan still gets a decent amount. There's this woman that's running for the Venezuelan presidency. She gets some really good character development as well. She's really good in her role. Some are serviced better than others. Like one of the newer characters, Numi Rapace here, she's not bad here. She has a good rapport with Jack Ryan. She's pretty good here as well. But there's a lot of characters here, unfortunately, who kind of get the short shaft. And I have to admit that some of the situations and some of the characters are a bit over the top for a Jack Ryan show. Like the evil Venezuelan president is a little kind of ridiculous, a little over the top for my taste. There's a lot of action sequences that unfortunately are just a little sort of unbelievable, and there's certain moments that feel kind of like they're going for, I wouldn't say they're going for like Tom Clancy necessarily. They're trying to go for Bourne, or they're trying to go for maybe even a little bit of Bond too. I mean, to be fair here, it's still really great. I kind of feel that they went away from Tom Clancy a little bit and focused more on other sort of spy franchises to get a little bit more influence. It's not a bad TV season. It's still very thrilling. I love the globe-trotting stuff. I think the action is really solid here. Again, I still think John Krasinski kills it in this role, man. But I kind of felt like the first season was better because it felt like a true Tom Clancy novel to me, almost. Here, it had its elements, but kind of lost a little bit of that feeling. And I think sometimes second seasons are like that, unfortunately, guys. Sometimes second seasons, you know, the first season works so well and they're off to a great start, and then they try to maybe do something different and sort of stray from the norm. And I understand why they want to try to do something unique and interesting outside of what they did the first season, but I think in some ways it kind of failed just a little bit, man. I hope that if they do a third season, and I believe they are, that they'll kind of go a little bit more back to basics. But I still think this is a solid season, but I would say season 1 is slightly better though, man. It still is really good, man, and I would say it's still great television, really great spy show, but I think that first season might have been sort of like the high point, and going with little expectations on season 2, but it's still really good though and really fun, man. Give that one a look, dude. Then they also have the season 11 of NCIS Los Angeles for $39.99. Man, 11 goddamn seasons of NCIS. Goodness gracious, man. You know what? I am no longer going to bet against NCIS, dude, or any of the spin-offs. Los Angeles, New Orleans, you name it, man. These shows are going to be running long after I'm dead, dude. It's kind of like after the nuclear holocaust happens, you know, what's going to be surviving? Cockroaches, Cher, and NCIS. That's pretty much what's going to survive, dude. You know, look, to be honest with you, man, it continues to thrive because it's a popular show, dude. That's what it is. It's popular. And it continues to gain a lot of traction with a lot of viewers. The reason why is because it's cool heroes, cool weapons, you know, hot women, kick-ass cars, you know, bad guy of the week. They get to defeat the bad guy, and then they go off and have some laughs. I mean, it's a popular thing. People want escapism, and this is part of the escapism, dude. I can't blame them, man. I mean, mind you, I've never seen any episodes of NCIS Los Angeles. I've told you guys that many times when I show off these things. It used to be my thing back in the day. I used to watch stuff like this, but I'm more mythology driven. I'm more sci-fi fantasy guy than I am more procedural stuff, but I can see the popularity. I can see why, man. And I gotta admit, people like LL Cool J are, well, he's a decent actor, dude. I mean, Deep Blue Sea, of course, he's not the most greatest actor of all time, but for a TV show, hey, he fits the bill, dude. And as far as Chris O'Donnell was concerned, man, Chris O'Donnell back in the day, man, he was like the it guy. He was, you know, everywhere. The girls loved him. He was like the next big thing. And then, you know, he made some bad mistakes in his career, and suddenly it's like he dropped off badly, man, and you barely saw him in anything. And I truly believe that if it wasn't for NCIS and this show, Chris O'Donnell would be like non-existent to this day. So he owes a lot to this show, man. He really does, dude. But it's not a bad show from what I've seen in clips, but it's your standard procedural. It doesn't break from the norm, but it doesn't have to, dude. It's lasted 11 seasons for a reason, because it's that damn popular, man. If you like it, I can't blame you. It's not always my thing, but hey, I appreciate the people's love for shows like this, because it's a deep love. People love this stuff in a big bad way, man, and I can see the appeal. Other than that does it, man. And if we didn't have these 3 releases, then this would have been a complete wash, man. But at least we had that, and this saved the day for sure, man. Not half bad. All right, let's head out. Let's be real, guys. Those TV seasons saved the day this week, because if that was not here, then this place would be a bust, just like the first Walmart was, man. Oh, God. This time around, actually, Target saved the day instead of the first Walmart saving the day. You never know what you'll get until you go into these stores. And it's kind of weird after all these weeks to finally say that Target saves the day. Really? Oh, whatever, man. At least we got to see some media this week, man. I mean, Target is usually good with bringing in those TV seasons anyways. We hadn't seen some TV stuff from them in a while. We're starting to pick back up with all these TV releases coming out. So now I think we're going to see a lot more from Target here, thank God. But yeah, at least they have some of these TV season goodness. Well, at least better than the first Walmart, but that ain't saying much. Hey, at least we got something. And it's good to show some love to Target every once in a while. Not half bad, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Well, what we got to see at least. Let's head to the next location and see if we can find more media.
All right, everybody. We are at our 3rd location, the second Walmart. We're going to go in and see if they have any indie title goodness to give a look to. But before we do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And it's 1 minute worth of a trailer, but goddamn, I couldn't stop talking about it. And that is Terrifier 2, baby. Yes, Art the Clown is back for more terrifying horror goodness, man. he makes Pennywise look like a pussy. Damn right, man. Oh, baby. Now, look, if you guys have never seen the first Terrifier, I highly, highly recommend it if you are into horror flicks. It is haunting, it is gruesome, it is badass, it is gore-fueled, and it has one of the best new horror villains to come out in a long time, man. Art the motherfucking Clown. So, if any of you guys sort of run in horror circles, you know that Art the Clown first debuted in a small horror anthology called All Hallows Eve. But he really made a big impression in that one, and I think everybody just could not stop talking about it, and eventually Damien Leone, the director, decided, okay, let me try to make a full feature-length horror movie with this character. He did, and I think people found it over time. People talked about it on YouTube, and it was this big phenomenon, man, and it grew in popularity majorly, man. And with the popularity and the sales, they were able to go ahead and finally get going on a sequel. And I couldn't wait, man, because when I first heard about this sequel, I was so happy, man, because there's so many great horror properties out there that unfortunately never receive the kind of love that they truly deserve and never get the sequel that they really deserve as well. I mean, I'm looking at Tucker and Dale versus Evil. I'm looking at Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon. Like, those movies, I would love to see a sequel for. I don't think we're ever going to get it, but I'd love to see it, man. So Terrifier 2 is like, thank God, man, they're doing it. And basically, it's another group of victims. It's basically him back from the dead and being resurrected and just causing mayhem and murder everywhere he goes, man. This is great. This 1-minute trailer is everything I wanted from a Terrifier 2. Art the Clown is even more evil, even more creepy, even more gruesome. Everything from the first Terrifier film just amped up to 11, dude. And I cannot wait, man. Now, I ended up actually chatting with the director, Damien Leone, and Art the Clown himself, the main actor who plays him. I ended up chatting with them at a horror convention last year when they were actually just about to start filming the sequel. And he was sort of telling me about different sequences and different things they wanted to accomplish. And from the 1-minute trailer, it looks like they actually did get in the things that he kind of talked to me about and mentioned. Damien Leone seems very passionate about this character. He really feels that he created something special, and he wants to honor that and wants to honor the horror fans that have really embraced him. Now, he did talk about a third Terrifier film that he wants to make, all by being that the second film here is actually successful and actually will make money, and people will love it, of course. Look, I think a lot of people are anticipating this movie. It ain't just me, man. A lot of people are anticipating this film. They want more Art the Clown in their lives. They want more horror icons, because I feel like a lot of the horror icons are pretty much gone nowadays. I mean, yeah, you get Michael every now and again, but Freddy's not as good as he was back in the day. You know, there's no new movies with Jason. You know, there's a lot of these horror icons that unfortunately have gone the way of the dinosaur, and you don't see much from them anymore. And having a new one like Art the Clown and it being so effective, I think really energizes the horror fan base, man. So I'm looking forward to this. I think the trailer looks badass. Hopefully it comes out this year. If it doesn't, I'm cool with it, man. I will wait as long as I can in order to get that Terrifier 2 goodness, man. Oh, I can't wait, dude. Let me know what you think of that. The first Terrifier, Art the Clown. Let me know what you guys think of all that jazz. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and see what goodies we can find.
All right, everybody, we are in at the second Walmart and some interesting indies to check out. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have, oh, of course, we couldn't pass up a Hallmark Channel original movie special, can we? With Love Under the Rainbow. find love when you least expect it. Aw, look at that. Very nice. With Jodie Sweetin and David Hayden Jones. Let's see. Jodie Sweetin was in Full House. And then she was in Fuller House. And yeah, Full House and Fuller House. Yeah, that's what she's in, of course. You know, nothing else past Full House and Fuller House, right? That's what she does. That's her thing. She's like the Full House chick, right? Oh, look, they're looking at cute seals and going on cute dates. Oh, how wonderful. All that wonderful, sweet Hallmark goodness. Aw. Look, man, I'm not going to lie to you guys. The Hallmark Channel movies are not my thing. I don't hate them. I don't go out of my way to hate them. I know a lot of people love them. And I think with any genre of movies or any type of flicks, you're going to get your haters and you're going to get your lovers of them. It's with anything, dude. There's certain things that I love that other people really hate and vice versa, man. I think this has its fans and I can see why. If you love really, some would say heartfelt, I would say cheesy. If you love that kind of stuff, those kind of romantic tales, then Hallmark is for you, dude. I mean, there's no wonder why they keep making these, because they are very popular and people buy them, so why not, dude? It's nice to see Jodie Sweetin getting out of her Full House and Fuller House world. You know, you can only spend so many days with Uncle Jesse, you know what I mean? And he starts to turn into a creep, he starts hitting on you. You know, you got to get out and look at other guys, man. So, yeah, you know, good Jodie Sweetin is getting her fix on Hallmark Channel. Then, oh my God, another Hallmark one, a 2-movie collection of The Secret Ingredient and You're Baking Me Crazy. Oh God, really? We're going with that title? Okay, man, I've done some cheesy shit in the past, but ain't nothing like that title. Goodness gracious, man. An aspiring Portland chef tries to win a food truck competition while the competition tries to win her heart. Oh, how sweet. When she runs into her ex-fiance. Oh, shit. Ah, dude. Okay, fine. Dude, I love movies that include food, because I'm instantly a fan, because, you know, I'm a food lover at heart. Let's be real here. And bacon is like one of my favorite things in the entire world here. But mixing it with the Hallmark Channel, I don't know, man. Look, again, I'm not going to hate on Hallmark. I think Hallmark does some unique stuff from time to time. A lot of great love stories. But they always wrap it in these weird sort of things, right? Like, oh, hey, there's a food truck competition, but she falls in love during the food truck competition. Or, hey, there's this baking competition, and oh, she just happens to fall back in love with somebody. It's always these sort of accidental love stories that Hallmark does, man. I notice that all the time. Even their Christmas ones, they're like, hey, accidental. Like you know, she came over to enjoy Hanukkah, and she learned how to enjoy Christmas and fall in love. And oh, that just reminded me, why doesn't Hallmark make Hanukkah love stories? Come on, Hallmark, step up your game, dude. Us Jewish people need love too. Come on, man. Then over here I'm seeing they have The Gates of Darkness. Oh, look at that. That's a great goddamn cover, man. I love that cover with the creepy eyes and the cross and everything and the skulls. That's a nice ass cover, man. Leading you to the gates of hell. Look at that, with Tobin Bell, John Savage, Adrian Barbeau. Nice. Very nice. Look at that. Man. Goddamn good cover, though. Oh, look. Tobin Bell plays the priest. Yeah, that's real believable. Human group is concerned that human was a connection between her family and the church. Don't tell me she got molested by the priest. Oh, God. Yeah, so it's your typical, like, you know, mysterious connection, being possessed type of movie. You know, the church has to come in, do the exorcism. You know all that jazz. You've seen it a million times, man. There's some good actors in this thing. I like some of them, but again, man, these straight-to-DVD B movies, man, you know, dude, they wow you with the cover art, and then when you get home, they're like, oh... Maybe I should have just stuck with the cover, dude. It could be decent. I mean, like I said, I like Tobin Bell. And Tobin Bell does some pretty good projects, dude. Doesn't look half bad, though, man. Little church and possession horror goodness. If you know much about it, definitely let me know. And I'm seeing over here they have Patriot, A Nation at War. Not bad cover, actually. Kind of stands out. A country's freedom in the hands of one agent. Dun dun dun. Nice. Patriot at War. What is this about? A tough as nails CIA agent resigns herself to living a quiet life under an assumed name. Oh, so she's kind of like the female Ethan Hunt. She's on the run, and she's on a mission to take down every last one of those bastards that ruined her goddamn life. She's gonna burn it all down, baby. I hope nobody is in the White House, because they're fucked, man. Oh, shit. Look at that, man. Nice. Interesting. Sort of a badass female character going on a mission, killing the bad guys. Oh, we've seen it before, but this kind of looks like one of those cool sort of like espionage action thriller type of stuff. It doesn't look that bad, man. Then we've got Coma for $9.96. Wake up to save everyone. Now that is a great cover, man. I like that cover, dude. That is great. Now, I got a chance to watch this one on Amazon Prime, guys. Now, I wanted to watch this because I gotta admit, the cover art looked really cool, man. And the synopsis did too. Basically, it's about this guy who wakes up into this dystopian world where it's basically based on people's dreams and memories and thoughts, and there's these creatures that are trying to hunt them down, and some people are part of this resistance that they have special abilities, and they're trying to defeat these creatures and bring back society to some sort of normalcy. It's a really interesting movie. It's this sort of foreign Russian sci-fi mysterious action flick, which honestly is pretty fun, man. The visuals are amazing here. The visuals remind me of like Inception or The Matrix or Doctor Strange. Something like that, with like the weird angles of the worlds, and you can end up like dropping from one like height and then dropping into another sort of section of this park when you were at like a high rise, and it's just kind of like, it's so fantastic because it has so many sort of fantastical elements to it. I love it. It kind of reminds me of kind of like, you know, like almost like people with superhuman powers meets a dream like dystopian world. It has shades of Inception in here, shades of The Matrix. I mean, definitely it takes a hell of a lot more from Inception, though. I mean, right down to the concept and right down to sort of the dream world and building realities through the memories. Some really fantastic stuff here, man. They do a great job here. I like the characters. I like the situation. And I like And there's actually a twist that's in this movie. And I won't give away the twist, but you're either going to go with the twist or you're not. The twist is sort of this weird thing of like, kind of like this weird, not everything is what it seems, and when you really know what's going on, I actually thought it was really intriguing. Some people are going to find it corny and they're not going to like it. I was interested in it. I really liked where it went. I like that not everything is what you think it is. That when you think you're in the dream world, you're in reality. When you think you're in reality, you're in a dream sort of memory-scape world. It's actually pretty decent. It's about 105, 110 minutes, somewhere around there. But it's really well done, man. And like I said, the visuals and the weird creatures that almost look like almost the black goo from the X-Files come alive, man. Like they're sort of attacking them, and all like the weird sort of cityscapes that are upside down. It's really imaginative. I thought it was really fun, man. I enjoyed this one quite a bit, dude. I don't know what I was expecting from it. I thought it was going to be kind of cheapo, but they put a lot of effort into this, and it's a visual experience. It really is. It's a visual fantastic sort of dive. Really wonderful, man. I really like this one quite a bit. Definitely get up on this one if you haven't, guys. Of that, they also have the DVD of The Haunting of Molly Bannister. Look at that. Man, I would not want to cross that bitch. Look at her, man. She's ready to kill. Shit, man. I have done unspeakable things. Yeah, you have, and I need you to stay the fuck away from me, sweetheart. Oh, look at that. Creepy house, creepy kids, creepy dolls. Shit, it's got the trifecta, man. Fuck. After the death of their elder sister, the women of the Bannister family begin to feel that something's very wrong. What's wrong with Molly, and why does her doll seem to appear everywhere? Ain't no one getting out of that motherfucking house alive, let me tell you, dude. It's kind of interesting. It kind of looks like it has shades of... shades of Annabelle, shades of Child's Play, weird sort of psychic happenings, kind of like Carrie or something. Really interesting, man. The cover looks really great, though, dude. The girl in the red dress with the pigtails. Never trust a little girl in pigtails. They always turn out to be evil for some reason, man. Especially with that big butcher knife. Fuck, man. I don't know if the doll comes alive or something like Chucky. It kind of looks like it's just like a creepy possessed doll or something. And she's like taking orders from the doll to kill. Ugh. If I ever have a kid, it better not be a creepy little girl. Because I swear to God, man, I'm running for my fucking life, dude. I don't care, man. I am running, bro. I'll be like Usain Bolt with that shit, man. I'm gonna run. Fuck. Looks kind of interesting. Then they have the DVD of Dispatches from Elsewhere Season 1. Now, I have actually heard of this show. I remember seeing the trailer a long while back for this. An adventure wrapped in a mystery tied to a conspiracy. Ooh, okay. Try to figure that one out, man. Jason Segel, Sally Field, and Andre Benjamin. Oh, from Outcast. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Four ordinary people feel there's something missing in their life, but they can't quite put their finger on what it is. Brought together by chance when they stumble onto a puzzle hiding just behind the wall of everyday life. You know, I remember seeing this trailer, and like I said, it was a long time ago, man, but it looked really interesting with these quirky characters and this mystery conspiracy thing that's going on, and them having tried to solve these clues and these puzzles. It looked actually interesting at the time. I think it's from AMC, yeah. I don't have AMC, so this one passed me by, but I honestly haven't heard much about this. I don't think anyone has really talked about this much. The trailers look good, but I don't know if it got a lot of hype or it was ever that good. The cast is great here. I mean, I love Sally Field from back in the day, man. Classic. Andre Benjamin isn't half bad. Jason Segel is a pretty fun dude. It doesn't look bad, actually. I mean, definitely let me know what you guys think of Dispatches from Elsewhere. Is it good, bad, interesting, sort of sci-fi, mysterious stuff I could get into? Let me know, guys. And then over here, I'm seeing they have Exit Plan for $9.96. Once you check in, you can't leave. With Nikolaj Coster-Waldau. Or just the guy from Game of Thrones. Yeah, that guy. Escape, if you can. Insurance claims investigator Max follows the clues of mysterious deaths that are remote or in assisted suicide. So uncovers a certain relation in which Max may not be able to. Ooh, nice. Look at that. Interesting, man. Very interesting. Not a bad cover, actually. I like this guy, man. He was really good on Game of Thrones from what I watched, man. He's done a lot of other sort of indie movies as well. You know, I've seen him in some like romantic comedy stuff with Cameron Diaz. He's actually a good actor, man. I like his work, dude. I do, man. Not bad. Sort of finding a secret facility that specializes in assisted death. Man, what is he? Becoming the new Dr. Death, man? Oh, look. I mean, it doesn't look half bad, though. It honestly doesn't. I like the mystery of this place that he goes to and how he's questioning the world and what he believes in. It doesn't look half bad, dude. It doesn't, honestly. It looks like something I may be interested in. Definitely let me know what you think of this one. Exit Plan. They have that, and they also have Gundala, Rise of a Hero. Look at that. What a great cover that is, man. An electrifying superhero origin story. Gundala. Nice outfit, actually. Kind of has shades of like Rocketeer. Maybe a little bit of like the Flash. Some of the armor stuff looks cool too. Not that bad. Based on the classic comic, Gundala is a poignant portrayal of the notion that heroes are everyday or superhuman and can be found anywhere. Though a superpower never hurts. Well, yeah, no shit. Sort of every place sort of needs its superhero. And why not in Jakarta? And why not Gundala? Oh, interesting. No, honestly, I've never heard of the Gundala comics. I never have. Now, mind you, when I was a comic book lover way back in the day, I was a pretty much a surface level comic guy. I liked Superman, I liked Batman, you know, I like some of the Marvel stuff, Captain America, stuff like that. I didn't really go too deep into comic books at that point. I don't know whether Gundala was around when I was reading comics or not, but I never have actually heard of it. Be interesting to look into it, though. Not half bad, actually. Sort of fights crime and looks for peace and takes down the bad guys. It could be kind of cool, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. I kind of like these more sort of unknown superhero flicks. You know, we get so many superhero films nowadays, so many comic book flicks, and a lot of them are really cool, but a lot of the more unknown ones always sometimes get the short change, whether it's like Mystery Men or something like Hellboy, stuff like that. A lot of them unfortunately go under the radar because they're not as well-known comic properties. But with this cool cover and the synopsis and everything, this looks like something that's right down my alley. So it's something I definitely would have to be interested in looking up, man. I like a good superhero origin story, man, and this might be something right down my alley. If you guys have ever heard of this, definitely let me know. Not half bad, guys. And not half bad this week, man. I mean, some really good stuff over here. Some really cool, weird indie titles, man. They also have this Naruto movie collection for all you anime lovers out there. Another one called Ride Your Wave. Some really cool stuff, man. Some really great stuff to check out this week. I love coming in here, man. Some really cool and interesting indie flicks, always worth checking out. Not half bad, guys. Let's head out. I was so worried about this week, guys. I'm not gonna lie, man. I was really concerned because I was like, oh my god, there's not much to show off. The first Walmart had nothing. Target only had the TV stuff. And I'm thinking, oh my god, I really hope that this second Walmart delivers. And I thought to myself, oh my god, we're not going to see anything here. And I'm so glad that I was wrong, dude. I'm so happy, man. This is the one time I'm really glad I was wrong in a big bad way, man. So good here this week, man. We had creepy children. We had unknown superheroes, dream worlds, and so much more, man. A lot of really interesting physical media and a lot of interesting cover art. All the weird and odd movies, all those unknown gems. Dude, I am so thankful for this second Walmart all the time because it really delivers sometimes. When there's not a great week, and sometimes I think we're not going to see anything, they always pull through and they always deliver, and they did it yet again, guys. Not half bad, man. Some really cool stuff this time around. Hope you enjoyed some of the titles. I know I certainly did. Let's head to the next location to see what we can find.
All right, everybody, we are at our last location, and any good out and about, you gotta go to one specific place. And I think you guys know where I'm talking about. That is none other than the Beast Best Buy, baby. We're gonna go in and we're gonna check out what they have. Hopefully some unique films that we have not seen at some of the other stores, maybe an exclusive or two. Let's hope. Best Buy has been delivering as of late. Let's hope they can continue that trend. Let's go in, check it out.
All right, everybody, we are under the new releases at Best Buy, and the first thing I'm seeing over here is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital collectible steelbook of The Town for $24.99. Really, a Best Buy exclusive steelbook for The Town. Kind of odd, but I'll go with it, man. And what a really great crime thriller this movie is, man. This is a fantastic movie, man. And what a great cast, dude. Ben Affleck, Rebecca Hall, Jeremy Renner, John Hamm, Blake Lively. Great cast, man. And directed by Ben Affleck. Man, this movie is great. It is really phenomenal, man. It's tense, it's pulse pounding, it's thrilling. You don't see the twists and turns coming. There's so much really great stuff here, man. And I really hope that Ben Affleck, I really hope he directs again, because he's such a really great director. I know his last directorial effort, it kind of tanked at the box office, and I know he was getting frustrated with the whole Batman thing, and he took some time away from directing, but I really hope he comes back to it, because he is a brilliant director. He did a fantastic job with this movie. It's really one of the best ones I've seen in a long time, man. Really phenomenal. And not bad looking steelbook, honestly. Actually pretty decent. If you love The Town, or a little Ben Affleck, give it a look. Not that bad. Then I'm seeing over here they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Inception for $29.99. Look at this sucker. Now this is what I'm talking about with a steelbook. Look at that. That is nice. With the room and the mind bendiness. Ah, so good, man. Great. Now, this movie, the first time I ever saw this movie, my brain practically melted. This is such a mind-bending and mind-fuck of a movie. It really is. And Christopher Nolan does a really great job with this. You know, I can't say I'm a huge fan of everything Christopher Nolan has ever done, because some things I'm not a fan of. But this movie is one of my favorite Christopher Nolan movies, man. It really honestly is. Leonardo DiCaprio does an amazing performance here. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Marion Cotillard, Tom Hardy, Cillian Murphy, Michael Caine. Of course, Michael Caine's always good, but everybody does a phenomenal job here, man. They really do. And basically, this was sort of Doctor Strange before Doctor Strange, with sort of the buildings melding into one another and sort of the dreamscape stuff. It's so amazing to watch, and especially when you watched it on the big screen. It was such a beautiful experience. That's the best way I could imagine it. It was just beautiful, and you just sat there in awe of what you were watching. It really was great, man, and it's so well done. And I think Christopher Nolan, again, did an amazing job here, man, with the twists and turns. And this ending to Inception is still being talked about to this day. People are continuing to have that debate of whether he got out of the dream world or whether he's still in the dream world. That debate is still happening. It's one of those most debatable endings of all time. It really has, man. Like I said, I can't say I love every Christopher Nolan movie, but I think Inception is up there for me. It really honestly is. And this is a really fantastic steelbook, man. Amazing, dude. If you have not watched Inception, this is one of those must-watches. It's such a mind-bender, but man, it's such a worthwhile experience. And the more you watch it, the more you start to understand it, the more you find the Easter eggs and all the cool stuff. Really fantastic, dude. You got to give this one a watch. So good. And then the only other thing, and I don't know if I ever showed it off, is the Blu-ray digital of Bloodshot 4K for $32.99. Not sure if I ever showed it off. I don't think I did. But I wanted to show it off to you guys regardless. Now, of course, much different than this artwork right here. I actually like this artwork quite a lot more, actually. But, look, I'm not going to lie. I do like Vin Diesel, okay? He's not the greatest actor of all time. He's never going to be the Academy Award winner. He's never going to be the prestige actor. He's never going to be that guy. But I kind of don't expect Vin Diesel to be, man. He makes really fun shoot 'em up action flicks. That's what he does, dude. And he stays within his wheelhouse, and God bless him, man. I mean, he's tried to do other things like that dramatic movie Find Me Guilty, which is really bad, dude. It's not good, man. Sometimes he's good, like the Fast and the Furious franchise or the Pitch Black series, which is really good. And then there's moments where he's really bad. Like The Return of Xander Cage, which is really terrible. That Witch Hunter movie, which was not good either. He's swing and miss more than he actually hits. But when he hits in a big bad way, man. He can never fully ride off of Fast and the Furious forever. So eventually that will end. Well, hopefully. I say that hoping that they're going to end it. I doubt that's actually going to happen. But with Bloodshot was his attempt at trying another franchise. And dude, it just didn't work, man. It really didn't, man. I mean, he tried, give him credit, but this one was not going to happen, man. It was just not in the cards for Vin. He's got Fast and Furious and he's got the Pitch Black stuff, but he'll always be a fun actor, but I don't know if I could fully take him seriously, but he is fun. And hey, sometimes that's all you truly need, man. Not half bad, dude. And not half bad steelbooks, man. Some really interesting steelbook love here. Pretty cool. Not half bad, man. Nothing else I'm seeing over here, but let's see what else we can find. And we are over on this side, guys, and the first thing I'm seeing is they have the Blu-ray digital of his Dark Materials 4. Yeah, they don't have a price, guys. Sorry about that one. Hey, it ain't my fault, man. But with such a very fascinating and classic set of books, you would think this would have been adapted before now. And you'd be right, guys. Yes, there was actually an adaptation of this material before now, and it's a movie called The Golden Compass. Yes, that movie is actually based on this same material, guys. Now, to be fair with that movie, they had to truncate a lot of certain things. They had to reduce down characters and material and story arcs and really pare down the religious aspects of the material quite a bit. And to be honest with you, the movie's not bad. It's pretty decent overall. But the problem is, you kind of watch the movie and you feel like it's kind of been shortchanged. Like, the book is so dense and there's so many wonderful things in it that, in a lot of ways, the movie never did it justice. So, unfortunately, I think a lot of fans of the material really felt like they got gypped, and they didn't do the material as well as they could have done. So, unfortunately, we never got any more movies, but we ended up getting the HBO series. And it's kind of interesting because I look at these 8 episodes, an hour each, and I think this was the proper way to go, to be honest with you. I mean, there's been so many young adult adaptations out there, whether it's the Harry Potter series, Percy Jackson, Hunger Games, stuff like that. God, I don't even want to talk about Twilight, but, you guys get the point. But, I mean, I think for me, I think you're able to dive into the material much better within a TV show aspect than you are within a movie aspect. I mean, some movies did it really well. You look at something like Harry Potter, that ended up bringing the world and the vision to life in a really stunning way, and still keeping the integrity of the characters and the story. I think with something so dense like this, you really needed to do it within a TV show aspect. And, I talked not too long ago about, film versus TV, and I guess it depends on the material. But with this, I think this is better suited for a TV format. I really honestly do. With such an amazing and interesting story, I think you needed to spread out the material as much as humanly possible. Now, I know they are doing a second season. The trailer is out there. They have definitely promoted it. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm curious to where they're going to go. I know there was an interview with Chris Weitz, who directed The Golden Compass, either before the movie came out or right as it came out, and he talked about the religious aspects and how they kind of toned it down for that movie, but they couldn't really tone it down for the second and third film because it's such a pivotal aspect to the story that they can't really avoid it. So I'm assuming the religious aspects are much more highlighted in the next season, but I just want them to continue to focus on this world and continue to world build, because the world itself and just the whole mechanics of the creatures and the different factions and the language is so amazing. And yes, I didn't quite get it all, and a lot of times I was confused, but I was really fascinated, and I hope they don't forget to continue the world building aspect, because a lot of these sort of adaptations, unfortunately, is that at a certain point they forget to continue to world build. They're like, well, we set up the world already in this season or the first movie, and we don't need to do it anymore. We've told you what we had to, and now we're going to move on from that. I hope they do, because I want a lot of these things to continue to be more fleshed out and continue to be more lived in, I guess, because again, for me, I really loved it, but again, there was a certain aspect where it kind of confused me and I want to know more, but I just don't want them to forget it. And certain TV shows, what they do is that they introduce mysteries and introduce things, and then they throw it to the wayside after a while. I hope this doesn't do it, guys. I'm hoping not. There's a good chance they're not going to forget it, but it's a fascinating show. It's a fascinating material, and I'm definitely interested to find out more about it, man. You get here, wow, a lot of stuff, man. Making his dark materials, building his dark materials, dressing his dark materials, the Damons, James McAvoy, Lin-Manuel Miranda, a lot of really great special features, man. Fantastic. And like I said, the acting here is phenomenal. Lin-Manuel Miranda does a great job here. So does James McAvoy. Everybody gives it their all. The storytellers are giving it their all. You can really feel that this is basically something that everybody really wants to do their best on, and I can really see why. It's such a fascinating world to dive into. I'm interested to find out more, but I'm probably going to have to rewatch season 1, man, because there was so much to digest that I didn't understand it all. But I do realize it's incredibly fascinating, though, man. Really is. And then I'm seeing over here they have the Blu-ray of Jack Ryan Season 2 for, yeah, no price yet again, guys. Hey, it ain't my fault, man. But I know they are doing a Jack Ryan Season 3, which I am looking forward to. And I'm curious to where Jack Ryan's going to dive into more with his character and, you know, where that character is going to go in the next season. I think there's a lot of great places for Jack Ryan to still dive into. I mean, the show is still very young, man. And I think John Krasinski has done a really solid job as the character. Now, I got to admit, guys, I would have never pegged John Krasinski as the guy to play Jack Ryan for an action franchise. Like, that never really crossed my mind. But the more I think about it, the more it really makes sense, man. I mean, everybody's going to remember him as Jim from The Office, and rightfully so. I mean, it's a fantastic show, man. And then after that, he tried to be sort of the goofy, romantic movie guy. Like, he was taking these sort of, like, goofy, romantic sidekicks and lead roles, and I thought, like, man, that's his talents are kind of getting lost in the shuffle. And then he ended up doing that Michael Bay action film, and that really sort of changed my perception of him. I thought, man, he really is much better than some of the roles he's getting. And then I heard that he was up for the role of Captain America. Of course, he didn't get that role. Obviously, Chris Evans did. But I was like, okay, he's really trying his hand and really going out of his way to do different things. And then he ended up doing the first season of Jack Ryan and really proved himself. Of course, he's doing more directing and getting into some horror films and like doing A Quiet Place and how brilliant that movie is. And he's kind of changed his image, which is something that I've really liked. He's no longer really the romantic, goofy comedy guy. He's kind of changed his ways. And I really appreciate that, man. I think at the end of the day, he makes a really solid Jack Ryan, man. I mean, I know there's been so many really great ones in the past, dude. There's been Alec Baldwin, there's been Harrison Ford, Ben Affleck, there's been Chris Pine. It's hard to rank them. I would say my least favorite of all the Jack Ryans is probably Chris Pine. I wasn't really believable on that. My favorite Jack Ryan, of course, is Harrison Ford. Then it would probably be, I would say it would probably be between John Krasinski and Ben Affleck, because I like Sum of All Fears. I thought Sum of All Fears was actually pretty damn good, man. Kind of underrated Jack Ryan flick, man. I like that one. And The Hunt for Red October is really good. It's not really a full-on Jack Ryan story, but of course Alec Baldwin's playing the character. But it is really interesting, man, and I thought that he did a great job with this role, and I think he's going to continue to play a great job. Definitely let me know what you think of Jack Ryan, man, and definitely let me know what you think of John Krasinski's role as Jack Ryan. I'm definitely interested to know, guys. The only thing you get special features wise is deleted scenes, but again, man, I mean, if you haven't dived into some Tom Clancy goodness with Jack Ryan, or you have, but it's been a long while, definitely revisit this great Amazon show, because it is really fantastic, man. Good action, good intriguing plots, not half bad, guys. And not half bad for Best Buy, man. Some really interesting stuff this week. A couple of exclusives, some new releases. Not bad, guys. All right, let's head out. It wasn't so bad here at the Beast, to be honest. I mean, yes, it's on the slower side. Definitely not as much as we saw last week, for sure. But seeing, like, a couple of great exclusive steelbooks, and I gotta admit, like Best Buy is always and will continue to be the king of exclusive steelbooks. It was kind of weird seeing one for The Town, because I was like, out of anything that could get an exclusive steelbook, like The Town does? I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm really glad that The Town did, because it's a great flick, man. If you haven't checked that out, definitely do it. But it was kind of an oddity, but I'll tell you that Inception steelbook is really cool, and overall, man, I love coming into Best Buy and checking out the media, and they always usually deliver something unique and interesting every time I come in here, and today is definitely no exception, guys. So I'm definitely happy to check out the media always at Best Buy. They're always good, man, and they're definitely getting better. I sort of see them getting better week in and week out, man. They're getting more media, they're getting more of the cool exclusives. slowly but surely, they are getting back to being the old Best Buy that I know and love, and I am so happy to see that, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. Not a lot to show off, but just enough. Not too bad. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's head home and finish the video.
All right, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And it was a little scary there for a moment. You know, I'm going into that first Walmart. There's nothing to show, and I'm thinking, oh, this is gonna be a really bad week, man. I was thinking about that, and thank God. Oh, thank you to the physical media guys out there. They were definitely looking down on me in a big bad way, because once we got to Target, it just got better and better and better. So, you know what? I gotta thank those wonderful, powerful physical media lords up there. I prayed to them every single night, guys. So they definitely looked out for me, and thank God for that, dude. But, you know, honestly, I think from now, probably until the rest of the year, it's going to be very sporadic for physical media. I think we're going to have weeks that are going to be really great, and I think we're going to have weeks that are going to be really sort of figuring out what the hell we're going to show off, man. I think that's going to happen. And look, I count myself really lucky. I really do, because if you look at physical media for 2020 so far, we've been pretty damn lucky, man. All of the great releases that we've gotten, and the fact that during all of this crazy COVID crisis that we've had, physical media has maintained pretty well overall. I mean, yeah, we've had some scarcity moments and some rough tides, but at the end of the day, I think physical media has come out pretty well overall. Now, with everything still pretty much closed or reclosing, and people's fears of stuff and movie delays still happening, it will still be pretty sporadic through the end of the year. Some good weeks and some not so good weeks, but honestly, for physical media fans out there, it's not just about whether we get the new releases or not. It's about catching up on older titles and, you know, checking out the media that we may not have gotten a chance to yet that is still unwatchable in our piles. So, you know, big weeks, slow weeks, it doesn't matter. Physical media fans have that love all year round. It doesn't matter. You guys know that. If you're a lover of these movies, of these titles, of these editions, you never lose that love. No matter what day of the week it is. It sticks with you day in and day out. We all know that. But I hope you guys picked something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got a few packages in the mail for the first pickups of August. And the first is actually a little bit of Royal Mail. In fact, it's Arrow Video Royal Mail, dare I say. Yes, indeed, another edition from Arrow Video. Now, this one, I have to admit, guys, I am over the moon to get this, because this came out last year, and it sold like hotcakes. It sold fast. I mean, sold out of print, done. And I was so shocked, because I was debating, oh, should I get this edition? Should I not get this edition? Should I wait? And you guys know that sometimes when you wait, opportunities just fly by, and this is one of those opportunities that did. And I thought, oh man, I missed out on this, and I just gotta live with the fact that I'm just not gonna have this edition in the collection. And then Arrow Video came out with, oh, well, hold the phone, we're actually putting out another edition, another special edition of this title. And I hit that pre-order button like you would not believe, man. I went hardcore on this because I want this. This is a horror anthology that, you know, I love my horror anthologies, and this is one that I have to have in the collection. I've always adored this film, and it's about time that it has a place in the Film Fan Went Away collection. So I am so happy to have this edition. This is a limited edition, man. It's gonna go again. It's gonna be out of print, but I'll at least have it in my collection. Not half bad. So I do have that. Then the next title I got is a package from Diabolic DVD. Of course, Diabolic DVD. They love me. And this is a Shout Select title that has been out for a long time, to be fair. And it's one that I was always mulling over. Should I get it? Should I not get it? And one day when I was really thinking about it, I ended up going on Amazon to try to order it. And I realized that the price had skyrocketed. The price had skyrocketed like crazy. And I thought to myself, oh my God, this thing is going out of print. And I better get up on this, because if I don't, I'm really screwed. And so I'm looking at third-party sellers. I'm looking at this. And I decided, you know what, let me go on Diabolic. And let me check this. And Diabolic had one Blu-ray left of it. One Blu-ray. And I was like, say no more. I'm gonna grab it. And I did. And I'm so happy. This is a teen revenge comedy. And it's one that I remember watching from my childhood years and years ago. I've kind of forgotten it. And, you know, sometimes with certain editions of movies, you've got so much stuff to buy that you sometimes sort of put certain things to the side. And this is one thing that I put to the side. But no more longer being in the side. Now it's going to be in the collection. I'm so happy to finally get it. Can't wait to dive into that bad boy. And last, but certainly not least, is a release from My Way Pictures. So, what if I told you that in my hand I have possibly the last film that Sid Haig ever starred in? You guys thought it was Three from Hell, but that's not entirely true. This is the last film that Sid Haig ever did, and it has got one hell of a cast. It's got PJ Soles in it. It's got Dick Miller. It's got a lot of people. This possibly was also maybe Dick Miller's last film as well. This is a horror film, a holiday horror film that just happens to be up my alley. What does that mean? Well, that means that you guys are going to have to wait until next month to see all of the pickups that I got for the month of August, and it is going to be a really fantastic month, guys. No lie, I have planned some really great stuff for August. The releases that I'm getting are going to be absolutely stellar. You know, August will be sort of the last hurrah of the physical media summer of 2020, and I think I'm going to go out with a bang for the summer. I definitely do, guys. Some unique collector's editions, limited editions, out of print titles, and a few surprises. Definitely keep up to date with that video coming next month. And keep up to date during the weekend, maybe at the end of the week here, because I'm possibly considering doing a live stream. I've never done a live stream before. I really have not. So I'm actually kind of like nervous because I've never done it before, but I've had a lot of requests. A lot of you guys have talked to me about possibly doing one, you know, answering some of your questions and showing off some physical media, some cool stuff. So I figured, why not maybe do it? So I'm leaning towards it. Definitely let me know if you guys are interested in a live stream. Depending on what your guys' answer is, I may or may not do it, but I'm leaning towards yes, but definitely let me know. But if I do it, it should be a good one, and I can't wait to interact with you guys. You guys make it worth it all the time. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about something that came up not too long ago, and it really is really intriguing to me. Now, if you guys have heard big movie news that AMC and Universal Pictures have struck a deal where Universal, after 17 days in the AMC theaters, will then leave those theaters in order to go straight to streaming. And here I am thinking about this. Right? Now, some of the details are basically, if it's a big movie and it's making a lot of money, they're going to keep it in the theater. However, if it's underperforming, it's not doing well, after 17 days, they will take it out and they will put it on their streaming platforms. People can pay $20 to watch it at home. And AMC will get part of that revenue along with Universal Pictures. It's a win-win, it seems, right? Not exactly. Now, a lot of the other theater chains, Cinemark, Regal, and a lot of these other companies have looked at that deal and said, this is a terrible, terrible deal. We are not going to do this because you cannot shorten the theatrical window by 17 days. You can't do that. The argument is said that basically most of these movies make their money within the first couple weeks, maybe the first 3 weeks, and after that the drop-off is pretty severe. However, you have to understand that a lot of these movie theaters, they make their money through these movies, and sometimes they're long-run movies. You look at big top-dollar movies like Star Wars or the Fast and the Furious franchise, these Marvel movies, and they last for weeks upon weeks upon weeks. It's not just the first 2 or 3 weeks. They go a long time. And these theaters gain a lot of revenue because of that. And Universal Pictures is trying to cut that off. And there's this push and this pull that is happening right now with this theatrical window. And a lot of these other companies like Disney or Paramount and a lot of these other Warner Brothers, a lot of them are not even really wanting to even talk about this. And it's very fascinating to me. It really is incredibly fascinating because Universal is the first company to really do this and try this scenario with another company like AMC. And I see the benefits and I see the disadvantages. But here's my, quote unquote hot take, whatever you want to call it. Look, let's be real here, guys. Let's be very, very real. The theatrical experience is dying. It honestly is. That's the truth. Because, it was dying even before COVID happened. I mean, you had a lot of these really big movies, like I said, the Marvel ones and the DC ones and the summer blockbusters and all those, you name it, they're gonna make the money. That's a no-brainer. But you had a lot of these small, mid-range movies, indie flicks, that were just getting drowned out. And were not getting the kind of play that they would even like 10, 20 years ago. And they were losing their voice. And by doing this is a way to sort of maybe, in some weird way, sort of even the playing field in a lot of ways for some of these smaller films that maybe need a little bit more recognition. It's possible. But even more than that, look, movie theaters have been trying to do gimmicks for a long time. They've tried 3D. And at first 3D was popular. And then 3D went the way of the dinosaur. And then, poof, nothing. They've tried to do these different types of seating, and they're trying to do this sort of big sort of theatrical experience where the chairs are rocking around and like stuff is splashing in your face, and it's almost like you're actually in the movie. I'm sure people are even talking about virtual reality at this point. And a lot of them are gimmicks, to be fair. They're going to cost a lot of money. They're going to end up actually upping the price of movie tickets. Movie tickets are going to be upped in price. You're also going to have concessions being upped in price. Popcorn, soda, candy, all that's going to go up in price as well. And let's also be real, guys, that going to the movies is really expensive, man. I mean, if you're taking a family, you're easily spending $40 to $50. Easily. That's not even hardly trying. That's easily you're spending that money. And what if you walk out of the movie and you don't like it? You're like, oh shit, I just spent $40 or $50 for a movie that I thought was garbage. I can't get that money back. Fuck, I'm screwed. There's a lot of downsides. And the theatrical experience is dying for a lot of people. And it's also opened up because of COVID. You have to understand that it's going to be very difficult for these theaters to gain customer confidence again. Because you're going to have to trust that you're going to be in a crowded movie theater and you are going to trust that every single person in that theater around you is going to wear their mask for the 2.5 hours runtime of that movie. It's dark. They're sitting a ways away. You're paying attention to the movie. Are you really going to pay attention to every single person in the theater? No, you're honestly not. And then what do you do exactly? You're going to eat popcorn, you're going to eat candy, you take it off. Do you keep it off because, you're going to get more popcorn, or do you put it back on? What are the rules going to be? What are the social distancing rules going to be? If you have a party of people, are they going to sit in one area versus another? Is there going to be a designated area? How is it all going to work? There's no telling right now, honestly, guys, of what's going to happen. And I think in this way, Universal is really smart to at least open the door to those talks. I think they're incredibly smart to do that because I think they see the warning signs that are coming. They know that, if they could say to somebody, look, if you don't want to go to the movie, 17 days later, it's going to be on this little streaming platform that we have, and you can pay $20 for it. You'll have access to it for 24 to 48 hours, somewhere around there, but you will be able to sit down, enjoy it on a big screen TV. And let's be honest, I have a 55-inch screen TV. Some people have 65. Hell, some people have 75 or 85 screen TVs, for Christ's sake. Beautiful, gorgeous looking high-def resolution, great sound quality. Heck, you have popcorn at home. You have candy. You bring a few people over. They pay $5 or $10 each. You're good. I mean, let's be honest. I like watching movies at home. Why? Because I don't have to deal with screaming kids. I don't have to see people looking at their fucking cell phone with the light going, them taking phone calls. Hey, yeah, I'm just watching a movie. Yeah, that, like, shut the fuck up, man. It's happened before, guys. Now, there's a lot of pushback from a lot of people saying, well, look, if this happens, then we're promoting piracy. We're promoting a lot of these things out there that we're losing the theatrical experience. But I'm like, number one, piracy already fucking exists at this point. People have been pirating movies for a long ass time. You think they've just stopped suddenly? You think it's gonna stop with being at your home? No, it's not. Like, come on, man. You think piracy is just a new thing? It's been going on for a long time. And honestly, I think that a lot of these theaters are going to try their hardest to keep their uptight grip on the theatrical window because they don't want to lose it. And I think that, we've had this world that we've lived in of physical media versus streaming services. But now it's going to become streaming services versus movie theaters, and who's going to win that fight? Because I guarantee you that most families are going to look at $20 and say, I can wait about 2.5 weeks. I can wait 2 to 3 weeks and then watch it. I can avoid spoilers. I guarantee you that might happen, guys. Cinemark, Regal, all these places are defying it. But we have to come to the reality that the theatrical window is very much closing. And if we don't find new ways and new innovative ways of reforming our entertainment and making it better for everybody to get that entertainment and enjoy it at home, especially with COVID happening, then a lot of these companies are going to lose out, and they're going to lose out in a big bad way. Definitely let me know what you think about that. I thought it was really intriguing, guys. I thought it was very interesting. Definitely let me know what you think about that. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you guys think of all the releases this week. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD Tuesday videos, Blu-ray pickups, movie hunting, theatrical movie reviews, and much more. If you're a fan of movies and physical media, hit subscribe and become part of the Film Fan Nation. You guys are amazing, awesome, subscribing, commenting, giving me great feedback. You guys are awesome, and I happily appreciate everything you guys do for me. Hopefully I do some for you guys as well. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright, guys. I will see you back next week for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody, and happy hunting.